What's going on, guys? So today I titled this one my three hard and fast rules for optimum health, and I wanted to go over those things. These are things that I do pretty religiously. I stick to them as best I can. I've been doing it for quite some time, for years now. Um, so when we talk about health, one of the first things people think about, the first thing that comes to mind is exercise, and rightfully so, right? When you think about exercise, we need it. uh, it's going to make you strong. It's going to make you flexible. It's going to make you mobile. You're going to build muscle with exercise. And having muscle mass on your body, especially as you at any age, but especially as you age, um, there's plenty of health benefits to be had just by having that muscle mass on your body. Uh, when you exercise, you're more confident. Uh, the vanity always comes into play. You look good and you feel good physically. When you talk about exercise, how many people are on drugs now for anxiety and depression and all of these things? And it's been proven that regular exercise um, can help with those symptoms just as much, if not more, than all of these psychotropic drugs that people are on, right? And there's no shortage of people on these drugs. Um, and there's really no downside to it other than a little exhaustion, a little, you might get a little sore, but there's really no negative side effects to it. And after every workout, I don't care if it's a 10-minute workout, an hour or 2-hour workout, you're always going to have this sense of accomplishment. All that said, and I've said this many times before, if it comes down to exercising or learning how to eat, eating the right way, and giving your body the right nutrition on a regular basis, I would opt for the nutrition. That's not, again, I'm not saying don't exercise, but if it came down, gun to your head, you can only do one or the other. It's going to be your nutrition. Um, because the number one thing that's going to determine your health status is what goes in to your body. Uh, you know, I've said this before. I just turned 60 years old, and I know, back in the day, I always exercised, and but I drank a lot. I ate whatever I wanted. I had horrible, horrible sleep patterns. I worked shift work for over 30 years. But in my mind back then, I always thought, well, as long as I'm working out, as long as I'm getting some reps in, it's going to negate it. It's all going to balance out. I'll be fine as long as I exercise. That's not the case. It's absolutely not the case. So you have to get that out of your mind. Uh, your health, you get healthy from the inside out. It's what you're putting into your body that's going to do it. That's going to keep you healthy. Um, so when you eat correctly, you want to keep your nutrition on point. And again, especially at any age, but especially when you age. Um, you look at guys are always talking about testosterone levels. There's so many things that can lower your testosterone levels today. We have these forever chemicals that we're ingesting that are everywhere. Um, so you have to look at things like that. So of course, you want to optimize the testosterone. Uh, you want to, like I said, you want to build muscle. You want to keep that muscle mass on your body as you age. Um, again, I'm 60. I take no drugs. I take no exogenous hormones. I don't do TRT, contrary to some of the comments that I get. I'm certainly not genetically gifted. I'm certainly no stronger, better, or smarter than anybody watching me right now. It just comes down to what I consider three rules that, in like a lot of things in life, they're simple in theory, but they're extremely hard in execution because it takes consistency. You have to be consistent when you do these things. It can't be, once in a while, hey, this weekend I'm going to try and eat right, and then, Monday to Friday, you're treating your stomach like a garbage pail. You just can't do that. So all that said, these are, like I said, the three basic rules that I follow. Um, I'm not 100%. I do my best to stay as close to 100% as I can. But again, we're all human. There's going to be times where we don't. But I think that if you do it for the majority of the time, uh, and you do it consistently, it's going to pan out for you, and it's going to help you in so many different ways. So, number one for me is eating whole foods. I was born and raised eating processed foods, frozen foods, fast foods, drinking soda, potato chips, pretzels, uh, because I didn't know. I had no regard for what I put in my mouth because I just didn't know. And that's the case with most people. Most people just don't know. They don't know what they're putting in their mouth. They think that this is food, and it's really not. So you want to stay as far away from processed food as you can. Now, today I ate some sardines, and sardines in a can. I mean, they're processed, minimally processed, but it's processed. It's really hard to stay away. But when we talk about the real damage to your health from processed foods, we're talking about these ultra processed junk foods. Uh, the fast food, the bread, the cereal, chips, soda, juices, candy, and things like that. And it's the majority of what's sold in the supermarket. Um, so again, in theory, it sounds easy, but it takes some work. And a lot of this stuff this ultra processed stuff, it's not even food. It's really just these chemical concoctions of preservatives, artificial colors, artificial flavors, sweeteners, sugar, salt, uh, seed oils, and that's really, you know, they're hyper palatable. They're made that way. We've said that time and again, and they taste good. That's the problem. They are addictive. They taste good, and that's what we want. But in excess, there is no disputing that these things are absolute poison to the human body. They make you fat, they make you sick, and they are a major, major driver of disease in the human body. So, that said, you have to look at your specific situation. Are you looking to lose weight? Maybe you're actually looking to gain weight. Maybe you're looking just to maintain your weight. Maybe you're looking to put on muscle mass. Everybody has different goals. But I think that ground zero is going to be a mostly whole food diet. My diet is pretty much centered around things like meat, fish, eggs, cheese, yogurt, fruits and vegetables, coffee and tea, and water. And really, that's it. Like I said, just the basics. Um, and like I said, I grew up with I mean, I drank soda every single day. I drank juices. I lived in McDonald's. Chicken McNuggets were everything for me. And again, I always thought that the working out was going to, as I got older and I started to work out consistently, I thought that that would negate all of the other sins. But it doesn't. Like most people, I never realized the damage, the absolute damage that it does to the human body. Um, I was reading a study today that even said, with all this, the metabolic diseases we have, the type 2 diabetes, there is a correlation between not only the physical aspect, the physical damage that it does to your health, but it has a mental effect. A lot of people that are type 2 diabetic and obese and have all these other issues going on, they have, it's very common for them to have some type of depressive situation going on or some type of mental health issue going on too. So that's not uncommon. All right, so that's number one. So now number two, I look at my eating frequency, meaning how often throughout the day do I eat? Um, the average person is eating for roughly 15 hours a day. And I don't mean they're sitting down for a full meal, every hour on the hour, 15 hours a day. But basically, the average person is going to get up first thing in the morning. They're going to put something in their mouth, whether it's a glass of juice, just anything. And then it just starts. They're off. And they just go right throughout the day, right up until they go to bed. They're sitting there late at night. They're watching Netflix. They're watching something on TV. And just out of habit, out of boredom, uh, they're just putting stuff in their mouth. Um, and a lot of these so-called experts, these influencers, medical professionals, it's very common for them to tell people, to eat 4 to 6 meals a day. You have to eat every 2, 3, 4 hours. All this bullshit, keep up your metabolism, and It's just absolutely nonsense. It conditions you. It's not, first of all, it's not necessary, but the fact that you do it and they tell people to do this, they're just conditioned to always eat. It builds that habit, and people think in their mind that I always have to eat. And it's just, it really is a disaster. You have these blood sugar spikes and dips throughout the day, and subsequently the insulin spikes and dips throughout the day. You're just on a constant roller coaster. You never give your digestive system a chance to rest. You don't give your hormones a chance to level out. You're doing damage to your gut microbiome, subsequently your immune system. You're just constantly bombarding your body day in and day out, hour after hour. It leads to fatigue, mood swings, and just so many other health issues. So I've dumbed it down to where I do 2 meals a day, and it usually takes me between 15 and 30 minutes to eat those 2 meals. I eat nothing, absolutely nothing before the first meal, between meal one and two, and nothing after the second meal. And that's because I don't have to. People grossly overestimate the amount of food or calories that they need. If you tell the average person that you can only eat twice a day, they are literally gripped with fear, with terror. Um, how am I going to get my calories? I say this all the time. I've heard this so many times. It's just like ringing in my ears. Like, my calories. I need my calories. Um, Anybody on this planet can eat 2 meals a day. Most people can eat 1 meal a day and get more than enough sustenance to keep themselves healthy. Um, I would say that rather than be terrorized by my calories, you should look at your nutrition. Um, because I can guarantee that the majority of the people that are eating 15 hours a day and grazing throughout the day on junk food and all this other nonsense, um, they're while they're filling their stomach and they're feeling full sometimes, you're really starving yourself nutritionally, because most of this food is, not only does it damage your body, but there's no nutrition there in most of it. It's just empty calories. Um, so if you want to be afraid about getting the proper nutrition, and get your head away from this calorie number, because you don't even know how many calories you need. You really don't. And I can tell you this: if you can reach down and grab a handful around your stomach, or your love handles, whatever you want to call them, uh, you've had way more than enough calories. Way more than enough calories. So my third rule is I look at the times that I eat. And when I say that, like I said, I eat the 2 meals a day, but I won't eat anything until about 3 hours, a minimum of 3 hours after I wake up. Meaning, if I get up at 6:30 in the morning, I won't have a meal until at least 9:30 to 10 o'clock. Most days it's going to be around noon, so I go a little further than that, and then I strive to get that second meal in by 8 p.m. So I'm really, at the most, I prefer to give myself an 8-hour window every day to have those 2 meals. By doing that, I'm now giving myself a minimum of 16 hours a day, where I'm giving my digestive system a rest. Like I said earlier, I'm giving my hormones a chance to level out, my insulin to come back down. Um, and that's real important, because this constant sugar spikes and then the subsequent insulin spikes just drives inflammation throughout the body. It throws off the other hormones, your leptin, your ghrelin, the hunger hormone, just everything. It's just, it turns into basically a hormonal shit show, for lack of a better term. Um, so again, those are my three rules. Very simple in theory, hearing it and really thinking about it, but to actually do it, I get that it is difficult because of how we've been conditioned to this nonsense. You have to eat 4 to 6 times a day. You need your calories, and uh, it's just this is. And most cultures are centered around food. I did a video the other day. Uh, you know, the holidays are here, and they did some type of survey, and three-quarters of the people said, I'm going to go balls to the wall. It's the holidays. I deserve it. I'm going to enjoy myself. And they're fully expecting. You're fully expecting to gain 8 pounds in 5 weeks. Um, that's just a total disregard for your health. It's absurd. So I don't get that. I don't get that mindset. Um, so yeah, that's it, guys. Those are my 3 rules. I'm just going to check the comments real quick in case I missed any questions here. Yeah, there you go, Gus. Whole Foods is the focus and home cooked mostly. Right. I mean, we're not 100%. Nobody's can be 100%, especially in today's day and age. But if you could do it 75% of the time, I honestly believe you're gonna come out. You're gonna come out ahead of the game. Yeah, GP. Yeah, it all depends. Different cultures, but I said, generally speaking, I don't think, is there a country on earth right now that doesn't have all of these fast food restaurants that we haven't sent over? We're really poisoning every culture on earth. You look at these blue zones; they're even getting where the people typically live to 100 years old. Uh, we're polluting those people too. So it's hard. But again, over in Europe, I know that there's a lot of. If you look at a lot of the foods here, a lot of the ingredients that we still use have been banned in a lot of European countries for good reason, based on what I've read. So yeah, it's different everywhere. Yeah, there again, Gus. See, 2 meals tops, and 1 meal a day. If that and 1 meal a day is perfectly fine. It's you can maintain. Most people can put away a lot of food in 1 meal. You're not going to starve, but if you don't want to go that route, I think 2 meals has served me fine for the most. I will occasionally do the 1 meal on occasion. Right, GP. There's also the monetary factor, right? Everybody complains, well, it's so hard to eat healthy food. No, it's much harder to go out to fast food restaurants. Not only are you paying that monetary price, but you're paying the physical price of what you're doing to your body, um, and you can't put a price on your health. S- GP, you do breakfast, so you're eating 4 times a day. Is that what you're saying? Let me know in the comments if that's correct. Vinny Vegas, do I offer training? You can contact me via email. If you look in the description of any of my videos, you will see my email, and you can get a hold of me that way. Yeah, Gus, 90% at home cooked, 90% home cooked meals. That's pretty damn good. Yeah, GP, like I said, the obesity rate is through the roof. I know here in the U.S., it's really sickening when you see what's going on. I believe the UK is right with us, or right next, not too far behind us. You look at the diabetes rates, the type 2 diabetes rates. Um, China's right up there. I think India, uh, certainly the United States, and it's just all over. And, of course, the mainstream medical establishment pushes the narrative that it's somehow genetics. It's absolutely not. I'll never believe that. It's lifestyle related. Type 2 diabetes is a lifestyle condition. Uh, that's it. That's the end of the story. That's how you get it. Type 1 diabetes is a completely different animal, but type 2, you eat and drink your way into type 2 diabetes. Right. Yeah, GP, the whole 6 meal a day building thing, guys running around with their Tupperwares filled with, chicken and rice and broccoli or whatever, all that bullshit. But even now, if you go to a mainstream nutritionist or dietitian, uh, they'll have you eating all day, especially if you're a type 2 diabetic. Uh, they instill in you that it's okay to eat what you want and just chase it with the medicine, or if you're that far along, chase it with the insulin. Uh, and it's just absurd. It's just absurd. So, all right. So GP, you are doing four meals a day. You're at home. Good food. That's good. Uh, what's your eating window, GP? How long does it take you to eat? How long of a window do you give yourself to eat those 4 meals? All right, guys. All that said, I'm going to pack it up now. Appreciate everybody checking in. Again, those are my hard and fast rules. All right, GP. Well, listen, if it works for you, brother, if you're staying healthy, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. All the best to you. Like I said, that it's you have to eat specific to your condition. If you have no illness, if you're not metabolically sick and that's working for you, that's perfectly fine. But anybody that has any metabolic issues, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, obesity, anything like that going on, I think eating multiple meals a day like that, it turns into a disaster. It just makes matters worse. So again, that all said, guys, I appreciate everybody popping in. I'll hopefully see you guys soon. Everybody make sure you get your reps in. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Thanks, guys.